win and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with and win.
1, 2, all freak out. Let's see, says she, freak out. Pundits, all freak out. Welcome to the Jaybefaunt channel. I am your host, James Leroy. So good to see all of you here on this beautiful Saturday evening. The Jaybefaunt channel is available on all major podcast platforms. Go ahead and subscribe to there. Also part of Revolutionary Blackout Network, so you can find me there on Sundays and Thursdays. If you guys have not already, please make sure to like the stream. This pushes us out into the algorithm so we can educate, inform, and encourage more people as we move forward. So it's so good. And thank you very much in advance. If you guys have not already, you guys can also go to jaybefaunt.substack.com so you guys can get email notifications whenever I go live, upload clips, or write any articles. So you got that right over there. Good to see all of you here on this Saturday evening. I'm already halfway through my tea because we got a few things we got to talk about, because guess what? It was crazy. It was redonkulous. I'm going to tell you right now, they are freaking the hell out. And they don't know what to do. And I'm at a point right now, I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this your man, though? Oh, my goodness. But yes, that's the funny part. We told him so. So yeah, it's not good when it comes to Joe Biden and his performance at the debates, on the CNN debates. I just got to show this. I thought I had it saved up. I thought I had it queued up, but I didn't. I could have swore I had this queued up, but I guess not. It's okay. But the pundits are freaking out right now. And one of the things that I want to share before I get to that is something that was said by the pundits on MSNBC, some of them on CNN. They also freaked out. It's not good. So I'm going to get into that in a second. Before I do, I want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat first, because, well, it's a nice day. Might as well. Okay. So I'm going to go. Actually, you know what? Let me go into the Rockfin chat first. Hang on. Anna Mares, good to see you. Saying looking sharp today. Thank you so very much, Anna Mares. Nice to see you in the chat. All right, let's go to the rest of the chat. Let's get to everybody else. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I love my people. Oh, freak out. Let's see. Says she. Freak out. Oh, freak out. Thank you, Leroy. Happy birthday to my good brother, Jaybefaunt. Much love to you. Good day, my comrades. Thank you so very much, Leroy. Yes, it is my birthday. How old are you, JB? 20. No. I'm 40 today. Interesting. Yeah, I had to cut it in half. Annie Shaw says, happy birthday, JB. Cheers. Thank you so very much. Good to see you in the chat as well. Janice Anderson says, happy birthday, young man. May your next year be filled with love, good health, joy, and prosperity. Thank you very much. Andrew says, happy birthday. Thank you so very much to Andrew. Jacqueline coming in saying, have a lovely day on your birthday. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We have Pyramid 7 says, happy birthday. Good to see you very much. Thank you. Extra Boy says, Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40. Happy birthday, bud. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated. Who else we got in here? Let me see. Did I get all those? Okay. Vinta Cafe says, oh, wow. Welcome to the 40s Club, JB. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. My comrade, Sabby Sabs, my sister from another mister, says, JB. Yes, Sabby. Good to see you. All right. Net Rondo says, happy birthday, JB. Thank you so very much. Chris says, happy birthday. Thank you. Joseph says, happy birthday. Thank you so very much. We got Eric Gray coming in saying, funny enough, we share the same birthday. Happy birthday, Eric. Nice. Okay. All right. Cancer Club up in here. Wait, that didn't sound kind of right. But anyways, you know what I mean. All right. Mr. Barak says, happy birthday. You look great. Thank you very much. I think I smell good too. Captain Obvious says, sup peeps, long timey no see. Good to see you, Captain Obvious. It's been a while. We have Daniel 777 says, happy birthday, love the suit. You should see my birthday suit. No, I'm just kidding. What the hell is inside this tea? What are you doing to me? Alan coming in saying happy birthday and many more. Thank you so very much. Notori. Oh my God. Whether there's black stars, black hearts, I'm feeling it. That's what Willow Smith said back in the day when she said, I whip my head back and forth. All right, let's go into Krona Ursa saying happy birthday, James. Oh, you using my government name. Oh, Lord, am I in trouble? Good thing I dressed for the occasion. Sweary Fairy coming in and saying, I keep hearing the Pac-Man death sound effect in my head. Good to see you, Sweary Fairy. Nice to have you in the chat as well. Winterland says, happy 40th, Jay. Congrats, and here to a great year ahead of you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Topsy Turvy says, happy birthday. Thank you so very much. We have Randy coming in saying, I feel all old now that I'll be turning 44 this November. Happy birthday, comrade. Yeah, on that day, I came bursting out, you know. Feel like busting loose. Busting loose. I said, dun, 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 dun. I have something on my lip. Felt like I had something on my lip. Anyway, let's continue. We have Synap says, happy birthday, JB. Good to see you. Dana Fairbanks coming in saying happy birthday. Thank you so very much. There's a lot of people. Luke says, hello, comrades. Good to see you, Luke. All right. Cobra Commander says, y'all lucky you didn't go white hair in your 30s like me. Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, boy. But I'm never going to try to hide it though. Why? Because daddy status, baby. What? Come on now. I'm you know, why hide it? Look, I'll put it this way. It's something I told people before. Growing old is a privilege denied to many. So wear the privilege with pride. That's all I got to say. Sulamoon coming in saying happy birthday, JB. Thank you so very much. Good to see you in the chat as well. B2 Trees says happy birthday, JB. Thank you. And thanks, Sab. You already told me earlier, but I appreciate it. It's good to hear it again. It's very sweet of you. Crikey says happy birthday, JB. CVL333 says happy birthday, JB. Thank you so very much. Who else? Baby, you have no idea. Oh Lord, yeah. We have Ann Jeffers coming in saying happy birthday to a great guy. I think you're awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That means a lot. Let me see. Roger Meadows, my brother from another mother, says happy birthday. bro with a big 4-0. I got some stuff for you. Look, Roger, sometimes I feel like I'm in a college class with you sometimes because you be laying stuff on me like I don't know what. Like you be like information. And I'm just like, sir, I don't think I can take it anymore. Like, it's like it's almost like you're like a Mack truck and you take like jumper cables and you put them to my earlobes and like zzz, it's good information. It's just my tiny little brain can't take it all, bruh. You got to realize you're up here, I'm down here intellectually, Jay and Savvy Sabs, I'm not going back to last year. I'm going further. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much to Rich saying happy born day. Man, there's a lot of people in here. This is kind of cool. Okay. Now, just checking on the Rockfin, just to check. All right, we good. Let me check the Rumble. Rumble's actually working today. Funny enough. Let's go to the Rumble. Let's go to the Rumble. Are you ready to rumble? Oh, are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble. I can't believe I missed that opportunity to do it correctly in the first try. Gosh, JB. Anyway, VH Sandwich says, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Barb Cow says, happy birthday, sending love and hugs. You look great. Thank you so very much to everybody on the Rumble chat as well. You guys are very sweet. All right. So what are we talking about today? Baby, let's get into it. All right. 1, 2, all freak out. Liberals, you in danger, girl. If any of you guys saw Ghost in, old school back in the day, when Whoopi Goldberg's character said, you in danger, girl. Oh, memories, right? But it's true. They smell the blood in the water. They're just like, oh gosh. Biden is done. He's donezo. It is not good. And I'm going to tell you right now, looking at how they were freaking out, it's funny, but at the same time, you want to say, I told you so. And I think a lot of us on the left are saying that. Hang on. Did I spell it right? I think so. So yeah, there's a lot going on right now. So let me go to the first clip that I want to share because they really have, dare I say, a come to Jesus moment. Can I say that? Because that's what it feels like to me. And let's start off with this. So even though he is on a break right now, shout out to you, Case Study 2 QB. I know you're on a break right now, but if you're watching, good to see you. I appreciate these clips. And I know you had to take a break, especially after that performance. Oh boy. Let's go.
John, if you love the guy, how could you put him out there? That's hard. If you love.
Oh, we coming in hot. We coming in hot. Wait. If you love the guy, why did you put him out there? Why'd you put him at risk, John King? You love him, but why'd you do that? It's not good. Let's continue. Ooh, we're not even 4 seconds in. Dear God, let's go. Ooh, some truth.
John, if you love the guy, how could you put him out there? That's hard. If you love him, if you love Joe Biden, if that was my father, You don't put a guy in that
Well,
situation.
it's a great point.
These guys know this better.
Yeah,
These guys know this better because they talk to them. There's this legacy in the Democratic Party. You don't challenge the incumbent because when it's happened in the past, they haven't beaten the incumbent, and then the incumbent has lost the general election.
It was actually Donald Trump that helped make Joe Biden the nominee because there was a feeling that if there were a primary, that would weaken, that Biden would probably win, but it would weaken him in a general election. And so there were people who could have run and didn't run because the history of that is bad. The point is now.
Hang on. Whoa. If he can be weakened, he shouldn't be deserving of running. If he can be weakened, then he needs to go. See, here's the thing. This is not some race where you give somebody a participation trophy and say, well, he participated, so here you go. Here's the presidency. Here's the nomination. Absolutely not. In fact, one of the things I think that we need to come to terms with is that the best person who is for the job should win. I mean, I thought that's how it worked. I thought that's how democracy worked. I thought that's how the primaries were supposed to work. But that's not how it happened. What happened in 2020? Might I remind you, he did not win New Hampshire. He did not win Nevada. Wait, did he win? No. And he did not win Iowa. He did not win the first 3 contests of the Democratic primary. Who won them? Say it with me, everybody. Bernie Sanders. That's who won. Meaning, out of the first 4 major contests, Bernie Sanders actually won, meaning he was the strongest candidate to go up against Trump at the time. And what were we, former Berniecrats, what were we saying? The most electable person is the person that actually has the most support drummed up. And it was kind of neck and neck, but really Joe Biden was being propped up by the corporations in order to be neck and neck. Bernie Sanders, his support was organic. His support was just grassroots, largely. And so a lot of us were gung-ho. But might I remind you, at Queensbridge Park in New York, 25,000. They needed an outside park to house everybody. And they had people in the overflow areas because they couldn't fit everybody. I remember because I was watching it on C-SPAN. You had people out there. And I remember seeing some people in independent media out there. I saw the late Michael Brooks out there on C-SPAN. I saw Jordan Sheridan out there on C-SPAN. I saw them all. Everybody and their mama was there. But he wasn't the most electable. And now, 4 years later, told you so. Let's continue. Oh, and by the way, wasn't there 2 people that were running for the Democratic primary earlier this year? And they denied them a chance to be able to show how weak Biden was so that they can be in the seat instead to compete against Trump because they would probably prove to be stronger? Wasn't Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson and for a short time, RFK Jr., those 3 were running in the Democrat. Oh, and Cenk Uygur. 4 people running in the Democratic primary. 4 people that could have showed the weakness that Biden had before he got to Trump. And they wouldn't allow it. They were the touchstones to prove if Biden was up to stuff or not. And they said No. See, here's the thing I want people to realize. For any liberal that may be watching, the Democratic primary, and by the way, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a liberal, I am independent, and to be honest with you, I think we should leave both parties. But advice to Democrats. The Democratic primary, even if it's an incumbent, is a stress test to see if the incumbent or anybody else is running, who is the best person to go up against the Republican. But because I know, and most of my audience knows, that the Democratic Party works in tandem with the Republican Party, of course, they did not want it to be an actual competition. They wanted to just wheel Joe Biden there. And now you have the pundits are worried because ultimately the corporate parasites who own our government, who tell Joe Biden what to do, they said, no, stick with him because we don't want to move any further left because that means that has to diminish our power. Anywho, let us continue.
Oh, he is the nominee of the Democratic Party. This isn't the 60s, okay? Voters choose the nominee. He is the nominee. Only he can decide whether he's going to continue. And as you point out, and as Kate knows very well, this is a guy with a lot of pride and who believes in himself. And the idea that he's going to say, you know what, I had a bad debate, I think I'm going to walk away from this, I find it hard to believe.
It was also, and I'll let you, I know, Scott, you've been trying to jump in, but it was also, it was an atypically bad performance.
Atypical, that's an understatement, ma'am. Deep understatement. Let's go into the next one because I think that also is indicative of what we have been seeing over the last couple days or so. Let me go to this because there's a lot of panic. And Joy-Ann Reid actually laid this out. Now, I'm not one to comment on people's looks, but I'm going to say this about Joy-Ann Reid. First of all, I think her hair like this is stunning. It is actually chic and very nice. I love that she made it blonde and she just short. She has a great head shape. This is just the fashion part of me. And with the earrings and everything, I'm not gonna lie, she killing it. She ate with that look. I'm gonna be real. She ate. Her political opinions are trash, but that look, oh, she's winning. She won the look. I gotta take my hat off to her. But this part is quite revealing. So let's go.
That said, I too was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped.
Of course it hasn't. Why? Because you are literally a stenographer for the Democratic Party. So of course you got their phone numbers. Any surprise? By the way, you're supposed to be objective. You're not supposed to be that close to people like that. Right? You're not supposed to be, having phone numbers and this close to them, like almost like buddy. Just a thought. Let's continue.
Buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak. And, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. President Biden had one job tonight. and it won primary job. And yes, it was to litigate Donald Trump's, criminality and all of those things. But he had to settle his own party. Mm-hmm. He needed to settle Democrats. Democrats, they always talk about Democrats are bedwetters and Democrats are always panicking. Yes, Democrats are always panicking. They're always scared, right? They're always thinking they're going to lose. Like Democrats are very pessimistic. This is just neurotic. Who they are. They're neurotic.
Yes, they are. But ultimately, it is because they don't listen to the left. That's why. Because we can tell, look, y'all, we tell them how to win every 4 years and they don't do it. Why? Because they rather listen to the corporate masters that keep the same establishment people that will obey the corporate masters in power versus actually changing the system fundamentally. And so this is why it always happens, because it has to. It has to change seats every 4 years, because that's how you keep the illusion of choice there. That's like I only give you a choice between pizza and hamburgers each and every day. And then I say, well, you can't choose anything else because these are the only choices I have. Meanwhile, I have some shrimp linguine pasta that's also somewhere, but I'm not going to offer it to you because I don't want you to know that there's a third option. So it's like either you get pizza or burgers. Perfect example. Black people, when we have a cookout, what do the kids get? Kids always get the hamburgers and the hot dogs. What do the adults get? We got the chicken, we got the steak, we got the ribs, right? You're giving the kids choices, but you're limiting those choices to the hamburgers and hot dogs. Which one you want? But some of them hate us when we look over their shoulder and go, wait, I want that rib over there. No, you can't have that. You can't have the rib. What? I want the ribs, baby. Give me a rib. I don't want no doggone ballpark hot dog. I don't want no Walmart packed hamburgers that all y'all got to do is just toss it in the grill. Maybe get some seasoned salt and put it on there. No, I want a rib. But they don't want you to have that third option, because they hold it back from you every single time. Anywho, let's continue.
But Joe Biden's job was to reassure them tonight. His job was to calm his party, to make them feel that, yes, I can do this. I have 4 more years in me. I have the ability and the stamina and the strength to do 4 more years. He did not do that. He did the opposite of that. He made them more panicked. Mm-hmm. The people who were texting me were even more panicked. They actually expected it to be better than it was. And now they're in I won't say a full-fledged panic, but it's getting there.
I know she's like, I'm not saying there's a full-fledged panic. It's a full-fledged panic. That's what it is. And, that's ultimately what people are talking about. I mean, there's nothing that they can do right now because the cat's out of the bag. People know how Kyle Kalinske, I'm looking this up. People know how it is right now. let me. The reason why I said Kaczynski is because he also had a freak out. Let's take a look.
Bruh. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say.
Is that your man?
So I just watched the debate. I was live tweeting it. This was not the plan. This was not the plan. The plan was not for me at 11 o'clock at night, immediately after watching the debate, to hop on camera and start ranting about it. I was going to wait until the morning, do my little breakdown in the morning, go about my day, send it off to the editor. Shout out, Peter, you're the man. But I couldn't help. I said, oh my God, I got to get on. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I got to get my ass on camera right now. I got to go talk about this right now. Bro, that was disgraceful. That was literally the single worst debate I've ever seen in my life. And it's not even close. And it's not even close. I mean, this makes 2016 Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton look like, you know, Noam Chomsky versus William F. Buckley. What did I just watch, dog? What did I just watch? Okay, I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Elephant in the room. Let's get it out of the way right now. Joe Biden is cooked. His brain doesn't work, bro. His brain doesn't work. There is a 0% chance that he makes it another 4 years.
No shit, Sherlock. What did we tell you back in 2020? We told you that. We told all y'all that. We've been saying it from the rooftops. And then you guys were like, oh, well, we got to go with the guy who's the most electable. You guys can push him left. Maybe we can wheel him left. And even then, we still can't do it because he won't go. My God. Like, come on, bro. Now you guys are like, oh, my God. Day late and a dollar short, bro. Jeez Louise, these guys, I'm telling you.
If anybody tells you, no, he'll win and then he'll serve 4 years, then he'll retire. He'll go get a place in Boca Raton. No, homie, he's got, I'm going to be kind here, maximum 2 years left. The fact of the matter is, homie could croak any minute. Okay, so he was coughing and stuff on stage. He had a raspy voice, and it seems like, oh, yeah, he has a cold. Okay, all right. Okay, he has a cold. Everybody can understand that. But the cold doesn't account for the endless freezes. He would stop mid-sentence. He would lose his way. He would desperately try to get back, but couldn't get back. Like, Joe Biden, you had one job in this debate, and it was to not look like a zombie. It was to not appear half dead. Yeah, I know all the right-wingers have been talking, oh, yeah, he's on Adderall, or he's doing cocaine, or he's drinking Monster Energies or Red Bulls or whatever. I know what they've been saying. But that does not mean your ass is going to go au natural and think that'll work out. I'll show them. I'm going to go up there with no chemical assistance. Motherfucker, you should have injected the entire pharmacy. I wish you were on uppers. They should have given you every upper ever made.
Oh, gosh. I'm telling you. You remember that, remember Pulp Fiction where the Marcellus Wallace's wife, she had a little too much nose candy. And so they had to revive her. So they had to stick that big old needle into her heart, right? And then pump her full of something that I forgot the name of the medication is. But as soon as she got up, she was like, ah! Wow. That's what Joe Biden needed. Yeah. Would it still have worked? Remains to be seen, but let the freak out continue.
So Joe Biden, look, from a vibes perspective and an energy perspective and like just the normie, independent, apolitical person who tunes in type shit, from their point of view, simply on optics alone, they're going to go, he can't do it. He's not competent enough. He's not with him mentally. This is like when you have to take the keys from grandma and the family is hanging on like, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could let her go for another month but no, she was driving on the wrong side of the road coming back from church the other week. Like, we got to take it. It's not safe now. Like, that's where we're at, bro. Except in this instance, the car keys are the keys to the White House. It's the nuclear launch codes, bro. That's what.
Hang on, but wait a minute. Weren't you and Crystal Ball talking about why we had to vote for Joe Biden? Because if not, we'll get Donald Trump. Weren't you guys those same ones that were making that case over and over? How do you feel now, Kyle? You were making the case. You were chopping it up for Biden over and over. And we were like, what are you on, bro? I mean, that box bleach hair dye, it can't have that much of an effect on your brain, can it? Like, really? And now you see the light? It's funny how people see the light once things actually hit them in the face when they hit, when they hit rock bottom, so to speak. Maybe you guys will listen to us on the left more now that you guys see Joe Biden like this. You guys even could have averted this disaster with Cenk Uygur, maybe, because he wasn't born here. So, I mean, that whole argument just kind of throws him out the window. But you had Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson, and RFK Jr. You guys had three people who were sharp that you could have actually replaced Joe Biden with. All you had to do was allow them to go through the primary process. And the powers that be, the corporate dictators, said no. So why are you still hanging on to the Democratic Party? Because look what the Democratic Party put you in. It put you in a position where you now are panicking on stream in front of 1 million subscribers. And you constantly have made the case for Joe Biden. Now look. I think it's important that we realize that the Democratic Party is a dangerous party because they're willing to sacrifice your life to keep a senile old man in office just so that they can maintain their power. They're willing to keep a man that is sundowning in office just so that the corporate dictators can maintain their power. The Democratic Party is dangerous, just like the Republican Party. Let's go to my comrade, Nick from RBN. He lays that out so beautifully. And this is why I absolutely love my brother from another mother. Take it away, Nick.
Genocide Joe Biden just put on one of the worst debate performances that we ever seen, that essentially confirmed what everyone already knew, that he is not fit for the job. I mean, Joe Biden's performance was so bad, it was almost like elder abuse having him up there.
More silence.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
Even Trump couldn't understand a word that he was saying. And he was, what, 4 or 5 feet away from him? That's sad.
The end of that sentence, I don't think he knows what he said either. Look,
Biden was so incoherent, it was so bad for Biden that Democrats can't even spin this. Now Democrats are screaming through the roof that they must replace Joe Biden. This is so pathetic because the media and the liberal class will just spend weeks gaslighting the American people about cheap fakes and trying to convince Americans not to believe what their eyes are telling them. Joe Scarborough famously said that Joe Biden the best he's ever been. Now Morning Joe is essentially begging him to drop out.
I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Now we're talking about, Mike Barnacle, democracy. This is a battle for the future of American democracy. And now is a good time. In June, thank God, in June, and not October, in June, this is the last chance for Democrats to decide whether this man we've known and loved for a very long time is up to the task of running for president of the United States.
The costs for Joe Biden to drop out are so overwhelming. It seems like this is definitely coordinated by the ruling class who wants Biden out. In fact, many people predicted that the Democrats would try to swap Biden out before the election, which is why Biden challenged Trump to this debate in the first place and made it so early, so they will have time to swap Biden out before the DNC convention.
Ooh. We need proof that he is not up to snuff. So let us know early so that when the DNC convention comes, then we can swap him out and people won't be in an uproar. They'll be like, oh, you're swapping out Biden for this person? We understand. You know what's funny? No, I'll save that for a second. Because there's a point that I really want you guys to focus on, but I'll focus on it after the next clip. But I really want you guys to pay attention to what they say and what they don't say. But let's let Nick finish because I think that's really important too.
Most important takeaway of this is that after that pathetic performance by Joe Biden, no one can possibly believe that Joe Biden is actually in charge at the White House. Who the hell is making decisions on behalf of the executive branch?
That's what I'm trying to say. Bruh. Look, wasn't that question that Charlemagne the God asked Kamala Harris, wasn't that the right question? Who's actually running the White House? And then Kamala Harris get upset? A hit dog or holler, but didn't she get upset and go, Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Okay. And that's what she said. It doesn't look like it to us. Like, who really runs this? Because we know it ain't you, Kamala, because they don't want you running nothing. And we know it ain't Joe Biden because he can't run anything. So who really is it?
The emperor truly has no clothes. The left tried to warn liberals about Biden. They didn't listen. Now they're going to lose to Trump, and they deserve every second of this.
But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain of what we saw tonight.
Oh, the pain is so hurt. It's the pain, the hiding. Oh God, why they got to do that to us, Freund Levin? Oh gosh, let's get into this because I think it's important. Let me see. I want to get back to. Let me see. Yeah. Is this it? Okay. I found it. Okay. Let's get into this because I think this is important because this is part of what Nick was talking about in regards to them saying Joe Biden, Joe, it's time to go. It's time to go, Joe. All right, let's take a look here. Jeez, this is not good. All right. Let's go, other Anderson Cooper.
Minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket. And they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public?
Hang on. Let's go back for a second.
White House and ask the president to step aside.
That part. I want you guys to notice something. Everybody that's saying, well, we just need the president to step aside. Nobody uttered the words, Kamala Harris needs to step in. They're acting as if he doesn't even have a vice president. Because Kamala Harris was a token. They never really wanted her to be the actual vice president of the country. If they did, they would have mentioned her name. They would have said, we need to give it to Kamala Harris. We need to invoke the 25th Amendment. Sorry, but she needs to step up. But no. Because that's what the parasite class does not want. They don't want Kamala Harris. They want somebody that they approve of even more. Even though Kamala Harris will do their bidding, they don't want her. They want someone else. It's not going to be Kamala Harris that's going to stay on as vice president or become president. If I'm wrong, okay, I'll admit to it. But they're not going to pick Kamala Harris to be president. They're going to replace Joe Biden with someone else. And whether or not Kamala Harris remains in the White House remains to be seen. I think that they'll boot both of them. And then they'll replace, it may be a Clinton Newsom ticket. But that's how I see it. Ain't nobody mentioned Kamala's name. Let's continue.
Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible. They do say in moments in the debate later, the president got better and got his footing, but then at the end, even his closing statement was a little halting. The contrast between the two candidates. Let me be clear. None of them, and a lot of Republicans, don't think Donald Trump had a great night. Donald Trump broke the fact check machine more than I can count tonight. That will be on the record as we go forward. He refused to answer some very specific and direct questions about his conduct, about January 6th and what all. So that will be dealt with out there. And sometimes there's a parallel universe between the political elites and the American people. It'd be nice to see what the voters say. But I can tell you, it started minutes in. It started with the first couple of answers, and it has continued throughout the night from a, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, to what do we do about this? And it involves very senior people in the Democratic Party, including elected officials, saying we have a problem.
And just to co-sign what John is saying, I mean, the panic that I am hearing from.
So they're talking about basically taking the keys away from Joe. Even though Kamala Harris is sitting there in the passenger seat, they're not going to give the keys to Kamala. Kind of interesting, don't you think? Now, I want to go to this because I think it's important as well. Let's show liberals how they feel, because there's going to be this. I'll be honest with you. Imagine Joe Biden passed away in your head. And now listen to what. First, I'm going to start with Van Jones. Then I'm going to go next to Joe Scarborough. Wait for it. It's really funny, to be honest with you. But it's funny, but sad.
There is no two ways about it. That was not a good debate for Joe Biden.
Ben? That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all. He did not do well at all. And
he didn't do well. He didn't. No, he didn't do well. Was it painful? If you're a Democrat, hell yeah. But I'm not a Democrat, so.
And he looked, I'll give you the analysis, kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man.
No, he's not. He was never a good man. Van Jones, you're one of two people. Either you are gullible and a fool, or you know who he is and you're a liar. One of the two. Because you cannot tell me, Van Jones, the man who eulogized Strom Thurmond, and you're telling me he's a good man. Van Jones, have you contacted Tara Reid? A good man. Give me a break. Have some pride as a black man. And look at Joe Biden for who he really is. Oh, I'm sorry. You took how many millions of dollars in donation from Jeff Bezos? AKA Great Value Lex Luthor? When he sent a phallus up into space? Come on, Van. You got to be better than that. Well, you were back in 93, but not anymore. Let's continue.
He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that. But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain of what we saw tonight.
This is a signal out to the ultimate corporate powers to say, yeah, we need to replace him. And the corporate powers and the donors, the bribers, are saying, okay, yeah, we hear you. All right, we need to replace him. This is the bat signal. And now let's move on to Joe and Mika. Joe and Mika. Joe. Joe is going to say some BS. This is a 9-minute and 42-second clip, and I know I'm going to be stopping frequently. I got to resist the urge because, God, Joe's insufferable. Let's continue.
I think we should begin with Joe, Willie, and me and get your reflections on the debate last night.
Well, I think I should start by saying, without any apologies, that I love Joe Biden. And
here we go again. I love Joe. I love him. Wait. I gotta do this performance. He was such a good man. And the way he called me a dog-faced pony soldier, classic. And his story about Corn Pop being a bad dude. Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him. Yeah, we're gonna miss him. Give me a break. Anyway, let's continue.
And Jill, and I will gladly debate anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere.
That is also a lie because he wouldn't dare come on the independent media to debate any of us. Would he come to debate Nick Cruz of RBN? No. Would he come on RBN to debate Rome? No. Would he go on Savvy Savs to debate her about Joe Biden? No. Would he go on to, you know who he can go on? Glenn Greenwald. But would he go and debate Glenn Greenwald about Joe Biden? Could he go on to any news network to debate? No. I don't see him debating Joe Biden with Danny Haiphong. Scott Ritter? Fiorella Isabel? Hell, Kyle Kalinske. You can go that route. Crystal Ball. No, you wouldn't. Why? Because even the people who are to the right of people like me would demolish you against the debate of Joe Biden. Everybody that I mentioned would demolish you, Joe Scarborough. Make no mistake about it. Because we don't live in a penthouse like you and your wife. We are not okay in this country. We know that the rate of homelessness in 2023 jumped 12%. You can point to the GDP and the unemployment rate all you want. But do not come here and pout and cry and moan when Donald Trump wins because people were sick and tired of Joe Biden. Let's continue.
Over the issue of whether Joe Biden has been the most effective president in passing bipartisan legislation.
Effective? Oh, God. Effective for whom?
In expanding NATO. And
NATO is a terrorist organization. I'm going to be real with you. So, well, he did succeed in doing that. You got me there, Joe.
Responding to the rising threat coming from China.
Wait. Joe, what threat is coming from China? What threat? What? Hang on. How many military bases around the world does China have? Does China have any military bases in Canada, Guam, Hawaii, on Mexico border? Do they have bases near Puerto Rico, near Cuba? Do they have them near Haiti? Are there any military bases in China? Near Nantucket? Where do they have military bases? How are they a threat to us? Here's Joe Scarborough manipulating and lying to you. Oh, geez.
Flexing America's strength around China by having the strongest economy in the world, bar none, the strongest economy actually relative to the rest of the world.
That's on its way out because, well, you guys shouldn't have passed NAFTA back in the 90s, but you did.
In 50, 60, 70 years, the strongest dollar in half a century.
The petrodollar is going away. Oh, gee.
The strongest military relative to the rest of the world, I would argue, and many others would argue.
Our recruitment numbers are severely down. They can't even recruit people because we're all fat and depressed. Oh my gosh. They're even talking about, they even made it so that the, oh my God, what's it called? The selective service is now automatic because young men aren't registering for the United States Selective Service anymore. Joe, keep up, bro. Keep up.
Since 1945, I think his presidency has been an unqualified success.
Unqualified? Yes. Success?
If, however, you believe, as do I, and as do so many people who watch this program and who
get to the point, Joe.
Just how dark of a place a second Donald Trump term will take America.
Bro, we've already had the second Donald Trump term. It's just with a paler version.
Then I think it's critical that we ask the same questions about this man I love, respect, and whose public service in saving this country from Donald Trump over the last 3.5 years I honor and always will.
Saying that Joe Biden saved us from Donald Trump is like saying we drowned you to save you from a fire.
I think we have to ask the same questions of him that we have asked of Donald Trump since 2016, and that is, if he were CEO and he turned in a performance like that, would any corporation in America, any Fortune 500 corporation in America, keep him on as CEO. If
running a country is not the same as running a corporation, especially when you're a currency issuer. Aren't you supposed to be the former Congress member? Aren't you supposed to know how government works? Government is not the same as a business. This is one of the, let me remind you, Joe Scarborough is a former Republican. You guys are dense when it comes to how government works, because a government and a business are two different things.
this were Donald Trump, time and time again, we talked about the Goldwater. Where's the Barry Goldwater? To walk over and tell Richard Nixon it was over, to tell Donald Trump it was over. And now the question is, do Democrats need to do the same thing of Joe Biden? I mean, these are hard questions, but the fact is, friends, failure is just not an option. In 2024, failure is not an option. So who I love, who I respect, who I revere for their work and their duty to service over their lifetime really is not relevant. It's not relevant for any of us. It's not relevant for Democratic leaders. It's not relevant for anyone. The question is, we know Joe Biden can govern. Mm-hmm. And again, I'll debate that issue with anyone and I will win.
No, he can't govern. If he could govern, then our material conditions would actually have improved. If you want to make the case that he governed, you would make the case that he governed on behalf of the parasite class. And that way, yes, he was wildly successful. But for the majority of us, he did not govern in the way that actually served us. He governed like Donald Trump.
I will destroy anybody that wants to debate Joe Biden's record over the past 3.5 years. He can run the White House. He can run the country effectively, despite the barrage of lies that constantly come at him, like Donald Trump's lies last night. But can he run for president in 20?
Joe Biden doesn't even know his way around the Oval, let alone the West Wing. If you put a bouquet of flowers in front of him when he's in the West Wing, he'll think he's in the Rose Garden. It's just, you gotta be serious. He can't govern, and he has not truly been able to for the last 4 years. I would say probably the Joint Chiefs and maybe his chief of staff have been running the country instead of him.
2024. Donald Trump lied over and over and over and over again.
And Joe Biden.
And Joe Biden couldn't respond to any of those lies. In fact, as the New York Times said, he spent much of the night with his mouth agape and his eyes darting back and forth.
Mm-hmm. What did I tell you?
He couldn't fact check anything Donald Trump said. And not only that, he missed one layup after another after another. He couldn't respond effectively to Donald Trump trying to overthrow American democracy on January 6th. He couldn't respond effectively to Donald Trump's continued stream of lies about his own record. And he couldn't even respond effectively on the issue of abortion, where for some reason, he darted wildly to the issue of immigration. And on immigration, as I said yesterday morning, any Democrat They can't turn to their Republican opponent and blast them for killing the strongest, toughest border bill in the history of America, drafted by a right-wing senator from Oklahoma. May not be up to the job. And so,
wait, wasn't it Joe Biden that actually asked Donald Trump to assist him on a immigration bill recently? Are you going to talk about that, Joe? Joe keeps face planting. He doesn't even know it. It's almost as if somebody took some lidocaine and put it all over his face. Do you feel that, Joe?
So that's the question. I know people are waiting and say, oh, and David Plouffe, I have such great respect for David Plouffe. He said we need to wait 3 or 4 days because Donald Trump really turned off swing voters in a lot of focus groups once they saw him again. And that makes a lot of sense. But the door was opened so many times. This race should not be close. We've been asking, why is this race close? We have no idea why this race is close.
Hang on. I know why the race is close. I know. My audience knows. Joe, why don't you know? Why don't you see why the race is close? Look, Joe, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. Get out of your $1 million studio. Go walk out of Rockefeller Center. Go to the Bronx. Go to Brooklyn. Go to Bed-Stuy. Go to Long Island. Go to Queens. Right? Cross the bridge or go through the Holland Tunnel. Go into Newark. Travel a little further down into Camden, where I'm from. Talk to the people in Camden, right? Go to West Philly, where my family's from. Go to West Philly, talk to them. Go to Pittsburgh. Go to the people. And I'm not just talking about the people that you would like to, the middle class. Go to the hood. Go to the hood. Go to Chester, right? And talk to them. And ask them, why is the race so close? Don't just ask your Uber driver. So detached from reality. It is ridiculous.
We saw last night why this race has been close and why I fear Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States unless things change. And I will say, Mika, the one thing that I know that you believe it may have been because he was sick, and I'm open to that fact because I'll just say, as I've said on the show, I spent 3 hours with this man, maybe back in March. 3 hours, cogent, on top of the issues, on top of every issue around the world. And last night, he simply was not on the biggest debate stage ever. And I think what surprised me and what surprised a lot of people very close to Joe Biden is the fact that this man always rises to the occasion. And last night was sadly for him, and I believe for Democrats in this country. And again, if you believe what's at stake at this election is what we believe is at stake, I'll even use the word tragically did not rise to the occasion last night.
Okay. So as you can see, you won't see us spinning here on Morning Joe at all.
You just did. What was that? I love Joe Biden, and I'll argue with anybody, and I will debate anybody and win on Joe Biden and his record. You spun. You spun. You weaved. You stitched. You did already. oh, we're not going to spin. You did. You twirled. You spin your partner round and round. That's what you did just now. That's what your husband did. What do you mean you didn't, spin? Let me just get this. Oh.
But let me tell you what I believe, and then we'll go to Willie. Biden had a terrible night. He could not land a thought, not even in the closing statement, which is something that's the easiest part.
Okay.
Write down a few words, go through them, go through the thoughts. And while I validate the chaos and hysteria Democrats might be feeling, anybody who cares about democracy might be feeling, anybody who cares about women's rights and our safety and our lives might be feeling, totally understand that. And at the same time as the night was over and I was hearing you on the phone and all our phones were exploding, I just had this gut feeling that I'm not ready to give up on Joe Biden, not even close. Joe Biden has lost more in his life than he has won in every way, especially politically.
Hang on. If you're in a car with somebody who's in cognitive decline and you know they're in cognitive decline, are you going to sit there in the car and say, I'm not ready to give up on them? They've been through so much. I'm not going to take the keys away from them. You're willing to risk your life on that, Mika?
This man has lost and lost, and the only time that he wins is when it matters. And that is, we have proof of that. He has lost in personal ways. He has lost and hit rock bottom in every way possible. And every time he comes back fighting.
He wouldn't have lost if he didn't commit plagiarism back in 1988. Oh. Connie Chung reported on that.
So for me, watching what happened last night, again, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to spin it.
Mm-hmm.
I still wonder what he's going to look like in a week. I wonder if he was sick. He came out on the stage and I thought something was wrong. I still believe he's the best choice for this country, even with that performance last night.
Ha!
Because he was standing next to a man who represents fascism, who doesn't.
Hold on, wait. You want to look at this genocide that's going on in Gaza, possibly around 50,000, at least that's been counted that are dead in Gaza so far. And he has been funding a genocide that's been going around. And then anybody who with a dissenting voice has been bashed in the head by police. And you mean to tell me that Joe Biden is fighting fascism? Okay, Mika.
Believe in this country and would not even agree to the results of this election if they were free and fair to him. A man who has incited a riot, a man who tried to overturn the election, a man who's liable of sexual abuse, a man who is a fraud.
Wait, liable of sexual abuse. Now, Mika, weren't you the one who talked to Tara Reid? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You, ma'am, should know, because you actually questioned Joe Biden about Tara Reid, and you, ma'am, took a man's word at face value when you had a woman credibly accusing him of sexual assault back in 1993. And you mean to tell me that you can apply that credibility to women who have said that about Donald Trump, but you can't apply that to Joe Biden? How hypocritical of you. Shame on you, Mika Brzezinski. Let's continue. Gosh, these liberals, I'm telling you.
Man who's liable of sexual abuse, a man who is a fraudster, a man who is a convicted felon.
Hang on. The only reason why Joe Biden hasn't been convicted of anything right now because he's president. But once he gets out of office, especially if you go after the Hunter Biden laptop case and Burisma and all that, are you going to be able to say the same thing about Joe Biden? Will you?
So many times Joe Biden has hit rock bottom. Last night was one of them. And I'm just not going to jump to conclusions here and jump on the hysteria train. I am rocked a little bit by it, didn't like it, was really worried, but I really truly believe in him as a president and as a human being.
That was hard to get through. I don't know, man. They look. They couldn't spin this. They couldn't. And it's even in the polls. Who won the debate? It's nowhere close. Who won tonight's debate? Trump, 67%, got a 34-point jump on Joe Biden. It was not even close. And Donald Trump wasn't great at all either. All you needed was a Muppet without a hand up his behind to sit next to Joe Biden, and the Muppet still would have won. That's how bad Joe Biden did. All Donald Trump needed to do was just appear coherent. That was it. That was all. And that's what I've seen. And Joe Biden did lie, but people aren't listening to the fact that he lied. Let's go to this.
Some of them. He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said,
hang on. $2,000 is a lot different than $200.
the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher.
Hang on. Let's go back for a second. Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. What happened with Joe Biden back in the early 90s in regards to Social Security? What was he trying to do? Ain't that the toilet calling the chamber pot white?
pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he supported, never endorsed him himself. In some of them, he said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying any.
Ah, boy. So yes, Joe Biden also lied. And so trying to make him look like he's the truth teller is not something that works, because you can debunk him left and right. I'm going to share this. As far as anybody saying that Joe Biden should drop out, well, it looks like the Biden campaign said, no, we're not doing it. It's not going to be us. We're not dropping out. Let's take a look here. Shout out to the people at Hotspot. All right, let's take a look.
Well, John, the Biden team, as of this moment, plans to pack up what few wins they had on the debate stage last night. You've already seen some of those packaged and posted on social media, and to move on and focus on what's coming down the pike. There are no plans, I'm told, for the president to drop out of the race. And even further, I'm told that the president is still committed to a second debate in September, which is currently scheduled for September 10th and hosted by ABC News, much along the lines of the rules of the debate that was hosted last night. Now, the advisor that I spoke with said that they're not putting too much stock in the conversation last night, and that many of the staffers on the campaign and in the White House also worked on President Obama's reelection in 2012, and they tried to draw the parallel to that first debate that was a very low performance for President Obama. Even he would call it a stinker. And they said if you had believed the pundits in the wake of that debate, Mitt Romney would be president, would have been president after that. Well, John, the Biden.
So he's not dropping out. Like when you try to take the keys away from somebody who has in cognitive decline, there is a resistance to give up the keys. And that's what we're seeing right now from somebody like Joe Biden. And are they going to have to wrestle them away? Maybe. It would be interesting to see them wrestle the keys away from Joe Biden. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they're definitely going to want to. Let's take a look at this article real quick, because I think it's important too. And then we're going to show what Joe Biden used to be. Why do I have a feeling that some people who are liberals are going to come into my chat and go, why didn't you call out Trump? Because I know exactly who Trump is. And I'm going to be honest with you. Trump also is just like Joe Biden. There is not much of a difference. Let me just share. We're just going to share this this headline here, because it's funny on his face. This is from BNO News. Says New York Times editorial board calling Joe Biden to drop out of the race. Says to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. They're screaming it from the rooftops now. They want him out. Let me remind you guys of who Joe Biden used to be. And this is it's quite painful when you see. Ooh, come on now. Hang on. Okay. This is Joe Biden 12 years ago. 12 years ago. It's going to be crazy what a difference 12 years makes.
Let me translate. Let me have a chance to translate.
I'll come back in a second then, right?
First of all, I was there when Ronald Reagan tax breaks, when he gave specifics of what he was going to cut. No, number one, in terms of tax expenditures. Number two, 97% of the small businesses in America make less than $250,000. Let me tell you who some of those other small businesses are. Hedge funds that make $600-800 million a year. That's what they count as small businesses because they're pass through. Let's look at how sincere they are. Governor Romney on 60 Minutes, I guess it was about 10 days ago, was asked, Governor, you pay 14% on $20 million. Someone making $50,000 pays more than that. Do you think that's fair? He said, oh, yes, that's fair. That's fair. And they're going to talk about, you think these guys are going to go out there and cut those loopholes? The biggest loophole they take advantage of is the carried interest loophole and capital gains loophole. They exempt that. Now, there's not enough. The reason why the AEI study, the American Enterprise Institute study, the Tax Policy Center study, the reason they all say taxes will go up in the middle class, the only way you can find $5 trillion in loopholes is cut the mortgage deduction for middle class people.
On the ticket, on it. Even though I don't agree with anything about him, right? He was on it. That was Joe Biden 12 years ago. 12. They thought that this Joe Biden still exists, when in reality, he's gone. Y'all gonna have to do him like old Yeller. It's sad. But I'm gonna be honest with you. This is how a lot of us have thought of Joe Biden on his debate prep. Especially on Thursday evening. This is a skit, but this is how we feel that his debate prep went. Let's take a look.
Okay, Joe, last one. We've been here for a week. You got this. All right, number one, the dude's convicted felon. Say Trump's a convicted felon. Over. Every answer. All of them. Felon. All right. Russia, bad. Russia's real bad. Real bad. Putin, don't like them. Ukraine, good. Zelensky, more money. Billions to Ukraine. More money. All right, our border is secure. What is he talking about? Well, wide open border. What are you, nuts? Aliens are cool. LGBTQAI+. We love the gays.
Can't get enough of them. You're gay.
I'm gay. You're gay. All right, the economy. Hey, Joe, focus. Focus, all right? Shiny things.
Remember the plus.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade, abortions. Have them. Everybody have them. Wait, Joe, wake up. Hey, wake up. Close up. Don't fall asleep.
That's number one on the list.
Give me the adrenaline.
More?
Yes, we need more. This guy's a freaking passing out old.
All right, Joe, wake up.
Adrenaline shot is ready, and boom. There we go. Daddy like you, huh? Daddy like you, huh? All right, Joe, focus. Continue. All right. Don't talk incest. You didn't shower with your daughter at an inappropriate age.
You were conserving water.
Yeah, you're going green, okay? Don't slip and fall. Do not slow your words. And listen, if Hunter comes up, he's amazing. All right?
The smartest man you know.
And do not say the N-word, Joseph.
We're live. We can't call it.
I know you love it. And guess what? If you don't say the N-word, you get a little treat.
Double stuff
Oreo cookie. Last but not least, do not insult Israel. Don't you dare.
You love the Jews.
You love the Jews. So I think we're good. What's that smell?
It's like someone pooped their pants.
Joseph!
How you doing? Look, that is pretty much the crux of what has been happening. This is why the pundits are freaking out. Now, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they're going to replace Joe with Gavin Newsom? Or are they going to try to just usher in Darth Sidious, a.k.a. Hillary Clinton? Which one do you think is going to happen? I don't know. Part of me thinks that Darth Clinton will be pushed on us, but I'm not sure. It feels like, you know, I mean, I feel like Hillary Clinton would come on stage and say, to ensure the security of the Republic, it will be reorganized into the first galactic empire to ensure a safe and secure society. That's honestly what I think that Darth Clinton would say. What do you think? I mean, that's what I don't know, man. But yes, that is what is going on. They are. So yeah. Liberals, you in danger, girl. Go ahead and give the stream a like. Thank you so very much to everybody for humoring me and just allowing me to go over this. I know it was a little bit lengthy, but we had to just take a look and see how they're feeling. I'm curious to see like what the conversation will be in the lead up to the Democratic National Convention. I know it's not going to be good, but I don't know. I just feel like there's the talks in corporate media is going to be who's the best option to replace Joe Biden with. That's what the conversation is going to be. Because they're not going to sit and wait till the next debate. And by the way, that debate is on Tuesday. September 10th is a Tuesday. I'm going to be live. I'm going to cover that debate. I'll be live and covering that debate when it happens. And I'll try to invite some people on to cover it with me to go over it. If ABC doesn't pull the same BS that CNN pulled. But yeah, I'll try to cover it. At least so that we'll make it less awful for you guys. And plus we can kind of wade through the BS so that you guys can have the facts. But yeah, we'll do that. Let's go to the chat. Oh my goodness. Let's go here. You guys got a lot of things to say on Rockman. Let me see. Denver says, Mika, Solus Avatar 1 was defeated by Solus Avatar number 2. Yes. Inversion of rule of law has pulsed from Joe Biden for over 50 years in concentric fashion. Bankruptcy reform, civil asset forfeiture, which destroyed antitrust law by confusing the F out of it. That's Joe Biden. Does she believe more in Alzheimer's Joe Biden or the Reed Strom Thurmond's eulogy at his funeral Joe Biden? Interesting. In the words of Joe Biden, we finally beat Medicare. That was the line of the night for me. And then when Donald Trump, Freudian slip, when Donald Trump said, oh yeah, you beat it to death, I was like, ooh. Because who wanted to also cut Medicare? Joe Biden. Oh, jeez, Louise. Okay, so the next one is from Hempcar. Says, I think they'll run Michelle. That would be hilarious. then people will be giddy and happy again because Obama's. Denver says, I think the intent is to lose. Plus, if you consider Biden is actually as neocon as Cheney, and there's any sort of two parties, the OG neocon Biden just imploded the Democratic Party. Yeah, I honestly think that they're going to allow Joe Biden to implode. At least they just want to switch the manager for another manager, and Donald Trump will be their manager that they bring back. The manager to keep the duopoly and the corporatocracy in place. All right, so let's go. Ooh, wait, what in the world? What did I just do? Whoop. I just did something. Hang on. Wait. I just did something. Oh, cancel. Discard. Okay. Thought I did something wrong. All right. Let's go to the chat. Actually, let me check the Rumble. Just make sure. All right. Oh gosh, this is hilarious. Aaron Dubner says Jill Stein 2024. VH Sandwich says Van Jones is a sellout, or he has a brain slug like RFK. VH Sandwich says MSM is so embarrassing. These pundits make me want to vomit. Yes. Barbara Cal says, yep, I was there. It was amazing, but they lied. VH Sandwich says it's becoming increasingly obvious, seeing what the mainstream media talking heads are saying, that this debate was a setup to switch him out. Interesting. Thank you so very much to you guys for that on the Rumble side. Let's go to the chat. I know I got some things to say. Savvy Sab says, the thing about dementia, it can start slowly and then rapidly increase. Yes, that is very true for anybody that has, family members with dementia. Oh, yes. And it was 10,000 in Boston. Wasn't that in Boston Commons, Sabs, that you were talking about for the Bernie rally in 2020? Luke says, but he answered all the questions. Why do you hate Joe Biden? Because she's Joe Biden's accomplice. Captain Obvious says, this is what sounds like when libs cry. Dun, 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 dun. 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 Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's go to whatever man says. I thought the VP was next, though. Why is the DNC rattled? Kamala's supposed to be next, but Kamala, they not calling her name. Kamala's over here like, say my name, say my name. And they're like, I can't hear you. Sulamoon, good to see you. All right, so let me go here. Let me see. Tim Price says, I would love to see Hillary lose again. Yeah, that would be hilarious too. Old Crow says, I legit think they're going to force him in. But that point about Kamala not being mentioned to step in now is concerning. Thing is that they don't want her. Ellen Dibner says, pardon Assange. Pardoning Assange would mean pardoning somebody for something that they did wrong. And Assange did not do anything wrong. Assange actually should be exonerated because he did nothing wrong. He shouldn't even have to be pardoned. I mean, I get what you're saying, and it's admirable, but he shouldn't have to be pardoned because he didn't do anything wrong in the first place. But Anisha says, Hillary has been around screens too much lately. Plus, she's a warmongering. Yeah, the queen of the warmongers. That's what That's what Tulsi Gabbard said. Let me see here. Janice says, working on building a food forest for my neighbors and myself, hoping to get my neighbors on board by setting example. In Brooklyn, my neighbors and I grew different crops and traded. Keep that up. That is nice. That is awesome. Tell me more about it once you get it started, please. Sherry says, it's to beat Kamala Harris. She is legally next in line if they put the 25th in play. They don't want Kamala. I'm telling you, they don't want her. This is why they're not mentioning her. They're not trying to get Kamala Harris to be president. They don't want her to be president. Even though she will follow orders, they're not going to put her there. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. The parasite class is going to do to Kamala what Lord Zed did to Rita Repulsa. Put her in the dumpster and throw it to the other side of the universe. That was a Power Rangers reference. I'm just saying. Yes, I just showed my age. Yes, I'm 40 today. Oh, well. All right. Roger says, okay, JB Savvy, I just finished my masterpiece. I sent you all reports to the span Biden's 4 years in office to show how ish got worse under inflation. Watch out for your DM or email. I hope they come up. Thank you very much. In fact, I think I'll show that that out of reach real quick in a little bit, but yeah. Thank you so very much to Dwayne. Thanks, JB. Happy birthday. Thank you. Resistor says, happy 20th birthday, JCU sexy mofo. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Everybody is saying I'm half my age. Thank you. All right. So just to let you guys know, yes, today is my birthday. I turned 40 today. Yes, I am still in shock, but it is pretty cool. And if you guys have any questions, for me at all, please feel free to put them inside the comments. But, I feel like I didn't know if I would make it to this age, because being on kidney dialysis for the last few years, I was wondering to myself, was just like, are you going to be able to do it? Are you going to be able to make it? And I am now. And I'm trying to work towards getting a transplant so that I can make it to 50. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. And, when I started on the journey that I am now, in being more class consciousness, I am now at a point where I feel more comfortable with who I am. I like the person who I am now. Of course, I got stuff I got to work on. We all have stuff we have to work on. We still have to keep on growing. But at the same time, it is great to not be as concerned with trying to impress people anymore. It is nice to feel more free and to be just really who you are. And, of course, I'm always trying to be the best version of myself, but I'm also trying to be a happier person, a more joyful person. I want to be, enjoyable. I want people to enjoy being around me, and I want to reflect that upon people. I cover heavy topics, every week on this channel. And even though I cover heavy topics, I want people to walk away activated and hopeful. I don't want people to walk away despondent and feeling anxious and in despair. I give you the information so that you will use it to let other people know you're not crazy. This system is not for us. But then I also want you to go, man, I can't wait till, and then insert a great thing that we all want for our human family. Like, I personally can't wait till we have things like a nationalized healthcare system so that everybody has equal healthcare and equitable healthcare across the board. I am excited for a future, and it will happen. I'm excited for a future where public transit is free at the point of service. You can jump on a high-speed maglev train and get to from Florida to New York in 6 hours. I cannot wait for that time. I can't wait for a time when I get to jump on a plane or a train and travel to Gaza and go to the beach and celebrate at a wedding and hang out with the Palestinians in Gaza. I cannot wait for that day. I cannot wait to live in a world where I can vacation and DPRK. I cannot wait till I live in a world where I can go to visit my homegirl, Sabby Sabs, and we eat lobsters by the bay. I can't wait. There's so many things that I look forward to in my future, because not only do I believe in these things, but I know there are people who believe in this and people who are fighting for this. And as long as there's breath in all of our bodies, this future that I am waiting for will happen. Now, even if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, I cannot wait till other people experience it. Always be joyful. Do not let this news get you down. Let it be a confirmation that this system is on its way out. All you got to do is keep pushing to ensure that it goes away and that we usher in a more egalitarian system, a more equal and equitable system for the rest of us. That's all you need to do. But stay hopeful, stay happy. Do not let this system bring you down, because that's its goal. It wants you to be depressed. It wants you to be despondent. Because once it succeeds at depressing you, then guess what? You don't move. Happy people move. People who have joy and purpose move. And that's the point. This is why I say joy is revolutionary, because it is. Make no mistake about it. Because they, the corporate parasites, do not want you to have joy. They do not want you to embrace your fellow human being, no matter who they are. They don't want you to have connection with them, because they want you to stay in their little cubicle and work for them like a bunch of flying monkeys. That's not who you are. You're not a robot. You're a human being. And I cannot wait till all of you have your material conditions met, so then you can be the highest form of whatever you want to be, as long as it helps your fellow human beings and helps this planet. Do not let that imagination waver. Keep dreaming bigger. Do you guys have any questions? I'm a young whippersnapper still. Sula says you're on the transplant list. Not yet. Once I get on it, I will let you all know. But yeah. Tia says happy birthday, and I got the Power Rangers reference. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, I forgot. Yes. Sorik Solis, thank you so much. Happy birthday to Kwame Ture. Yep, we share the same birthday. Blyat says, hell yeah, happy birthday, comrade. My birthday's in a week, and I'm also going to be 40. Nice. 84 babies. That's what I'm talking about. Yup. 84 was a good year. All right. Jacqueline says, are you off anywhere nice tonight? No, it's gonna be pretty quiet night. For the most part. I did some stuff around the house. Though I am a little irritated with myself. I wanted to go to the gym today, but I was busy doing some other stuff. I had to put together my mom's computer, and I had to put together this piece of furniture. And what else did I do? I was doing other stuff. Oh yeah, and I had to, make my mom, some food because she wasn't feeling well earlier today. But for the most part, I'm gonna make sure to get to it tomorrow. That's for damn sure. I'm trying to make sure I'm consistent with going to the gym. Savvy Sav, she basically encouraged me through her actions of going to the gym regularly. So I'm doing it now. So yeah, man, that exercise bike's gonna kick my ass tomorrow. Oh, and then I got to do biceps and triceps. Oh boy. And then I think I'm gonna do squats tomorrow. Cause I'm trying to get that thing, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Mr. Meepsor said, is that the guy who said, in order for nonviolent protests to work, your opponents must have a conscience? Yes, and he ended the phrase with the United States has no conscience. Well, he's talking about the government. So yes, that is him. So I'm just checking to see if there's any other actually let me go here. Oh yeah, I wanted to share hang on. Let me see something. Hang on. Roger, I got your is this gonna allow me to see it? Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. So this was the Out of Reach that recently came out. This is from the National Low Income Housing Coalition that came out recently. This is Florida. Florida is still number 10 as far as, and this is how much you need to make in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in the United States. So Florida is number 10, the 10th most expensive state to live in. It says here, hang on, can I enlarge this? No. Wait. Oh, wait, I can go here. Ooh, go down just a little bit. Okay. Can I scroll up? Okay. Florida. It says in Florida, the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is $1,833. In order to afford this level of rent and utilities without paying more than 30% of income on housing, a household must earn $6,109 monthly or $73,308 annually, assuming a 40-hour work week, 52 weeks a year. This level of income translates to an hourly housing wage of $35.24 per hour. Right now, here in Florida, as of September, our minimum wage is $12 an hour. So you literally have to make three times the hourly wage, the minimum wage, in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. So minimum wage is $12 an hour. Average renter wage is $22.63 an hour. 2-bedroom housing you need to make $35.24 an hour. Number of renter households is 2,767,517. Percent renters is 33%. So, you need almost 3 full-time jobs at minimum wage to afford a 2-bedroom rental apartment. So the most expensive areas is Miami Beach, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Monroe County, Fort Lauderdale, and Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford. I'm in Orlando. Orlando is exploding right now. Why? Because a lot of y'all from up north are moving down here. We are being gentrified out the ass right now. So it goes to show that, yes. Has it gotten worse? Yeah. But Joe Biden would never tell you about this. But make no mistake, this would still happen under Donald Trump, and it has. So whether you feel like Tweedledee is the worst or Tweedledum is the worst, either way, we're screwed. This is why I say leave the duopoly and go with a third party. And if you do not believe in electoral politics at all, then you can either do one of two things. You can either still vote for ballot initiatives so that you can mitigate the damage done to average people like you and me, or you can also get out into the streets and build dual power and join different organizations. I say the third part is about joining organizations should always be in your, it should always be the option that you choose, and then you can couple it with either number one or number two. In fact, let me share the tweet because I wanted to make sure that people understood that you have other options besides fascist number one or fascist number two. So let me see. Man, there was so many great memes that happened over the last day. Here we go. So for people who are nervous about who we're going to get as president, don't be nervous. Don't get mad, get glad. I said, if you think there's only a binary choice between the two, of course you think we're screwed. But remember, there are third options. 1, vote third party independent. There are multiple candidates to choose from. 2, vote only for ballot initiatives, skip the politicians, go straight for the policy. 3, Organize with mutual aid organizations to build dual power for those of you who don't believe in electoral politics anymore. Or, and I should amend this, or if you still do believe in electoral politics, still do number 3. Either or. I don't care if you believe in electoral politics or not. Join an organization and build dual power in order to change the system. You still have answers in what you can do. It is not all lost. Do not sit here and think, oh, even because here's the thing, even if Donald Trump were to come back into office, you still have to do number 3. Number 3 is still a necessary thing to do. I say number 3 is the most important thing to do outside of number 1 and number 2. Because if you do number 3 can help you with number 2. And if you do number 3 can help you with number 1. And even if you do number 3 by itself, that's still the best thing that you can do. But make sure to always do number 3. Because like Captain Planet said, the power is yours. So this is the answer. Do not sit here and think that all is lost, because it's not. That's why I try to stay positive. This is why I try to stay joyful, because I realize I know that all is not lost. And it will change in a positive direction. We just have to cultivate it. Just like how you know if you plant a seed, if you do what you're supposed to do in order to take care of it, it will grow. You have to not only plant the seed, but you got to water it, baby. You got to water it. You got to give it food. You got to get it oxygen so that it can chia. That's what you have to do. Water it with me. Don't just sit idly by and just wish it to happen. Roger Meadow says, make sure you have fiber to do number 2. I get plenty of fiber, Roger. But yes. I'm glad, Tia. I'm glad. So do you guys have any other questions for me? Miss Resistor says, Jay, I can give you half a dozen kidneys if you don't ask where they come from. Oh, man. Don't say nothing. All right, so I'm going to head on out because it is time for me to go. One nice thing is I got myself a slice of cheesecake, so I'm going to have that. Okay, Roger. Let's go. Let me see. All right. Hempcar says I go on hikes in the mountains, more fun than exercise bikes. Yeah, we don't have mountains in Florida. Denver says there's no substitute for physical activity. Yep, you're right. Roger Meadows, thank you for the tip. He says, James, now bring up what Florida was last year with its most expensive jurisdictions compared 23 and 24. Yeah, I can do that actually. Let me see. Is this it? Oh, no. That's not it. Hang on. I have it bookmarked. Is this it? I think so. Is this the out of reach? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Sorry, I had to wait. Oh, no, don't do that. Well, let me hang on. Okay. Oh, okay, Roger. I see what you mean. Okay. So remember, it was number 10 this year. Last year, it was number 11. So Florida actually moved up in the most expensive state. Last year, it was $30.59 an hour. Now it's over almost $36 an hour you need to make in order to afford a 2-bedroom. The most expensive areas were Monroe County, Miami, Miami Beach, Kendall, West Palm Beach, Florida, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, and Naples. Now it's Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford, St. Cloud, I think it was. So if you see here, it's gotten worse. You know, yeah, I have the old one already bookmarked, and I think I just bookmarked the new one. So yeah, thank you, Roger. But yeah, it's worse now, and we all feel it. So yeah, this is why we got to fight. We got to keep the fight going. So I love every single time I go to my page, I get the balloons. It's only going to last for 4 more hours. So, but that's all good. It's nice to see. So for now, I'm going to go have that slice of cheesecake. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to do RBN tomorrow. It's been a long day. Plus, I still got to go to the gym. And I'll probably do that. And then tomorrow evening, I'll do a reading. I think I'll be reading my book. Not my book, but the book. So I'll be getting into reading tomorrow of The Will to Change by Bell Hooks. We'll continue in the reading of that. And I'll try to fit in, if I can, Prejudicial by Margaret Kimberly. But I definitely want to continue in that. But these are the books that I read on my channel. I read and discuss them as well. So stay tuned for that too. And then on top of it, oh, by the way, if you guys wanted to, I should have said this, but if you guys wanted to send like a super chat, because just to let you guys know, I am Oh! Shout out to patrons on Patreon for all the help that you guys have given me, all for making sure that this channel is, you know, still operational. You guys make this possible. So thank you so very much to all the patrons on Patreon. For without you guys, I would not be able to keep the lights on. Here's to patrons who have helped me stay the course in this channel. So thank you so very much. I want to give a shout out to Mega Jaybefaunters, Super Duper Jaybefaunters, Super Jaybefaunters, Jaybefaunters, Comrade, Solidarity, and JB members. And welcome new member, Sinachol. Thank you so very much to everybody for being members of Patreon, making sure that I literally can keep doing this work. Without you guys, I would not be able to. For anybody who would like to continue to send me or become a patron on Patreon, it is deeply appreciated. I am demonetized on my channel, which means that I do not get any ad revenue whatsoever. So if you like to support the channel, you can support via Patreon or PayPal. I was going to say that if you would like to, I'm thinking about starting this because you can put notes in the PayPal if you send me anything, I can do that as super chats instead, and I'll just read it off my phone. I won't be able to show it on screen, but I can be able to read it off. So if you guys want to, I don't know if that's a viable option. I mean, if you guys do it that way, 30% of whatever you send, typically, like if you send a super chat on YouTube, 30% goes to YouTube. But if you were to send it straight to me on PayPal, it would go to 100% to me. So just letting you know. But I'm thinking about doing that. So you would still be able to technically do super chats, but it would be through PayPal instead. It's a viable option. And I always have it linked in the description as well if you guys would like to, but just letting you guys know if in case you guys wanted to do something like that. But yeah, so but yes, thank you so very much to everybody that has tuned in. And what was I trying to remember anything else? And Dr. Devon Price, the author of Laziness Does Not Exist, will be here this Tuesday. I am so excited for Dr. Devon Price to join me. It's going to be a really great time. It's going to be a great conversation. So I cannot wait for that. And then, of course, I'll be covering news stories this Tuesday as well. And yeah, so I am excited. And it has been a great birthday so far. So look, water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. Look, smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them. If you ain't got them, then watch something funny, because joy is revolutionary. And please continue to let people know that they have a third option. Do not let people think that all is lost and they have nowhere else to go. You get a choice between two doors, and then you're the one that points to them and points down and goes, "Hey, there's a trap door right here. You can still get out, even though the walls are closing in." Or there's a ladder right here and there's a door right above us. All we got to do is climb and get out. Please continue to remind people of that. So I love you for watching. Thank you so very much for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday evening. You guys have yourself also a wonderful day. For all of you that have birthdays either coming up or birthdays that just passed, happy birthday to you. And thank you very much to everyone. Once again, mwah, forehead kisses to every single one of you, because you matter. Always remember that. From the top and bottom of my heart, good night. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/Jaybefaunt. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.